Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Inside Lowell Daily Pulse, the Tuesday, October 7th edition of the Daily Pulse. I'm your host, Teddy Panos, coming to you from the WellPoint Studios here in beautiful, historic downtown Lowell. Pleased today to be joined by my special guest on this Daily Pulse, by my downstairs neighbor here.
Yes, that's correct.
In the executive building. Jay Linehan from the Greater Lowell Community Foundation is joining us here. Jay, how are you?
I'm doing just fine, Teddy. I mean, it's great. I had to walk up 2 flights of stairs to get here.
Yes.
It's awesome. It's great being downtown. I got a great look over Merrimack Street, and it's interesting to always just keep a feel of the pulse that's going on.
This really is an awesome building. You're literally in the center of the downtown. It's great, and it's nice. We have so many great neighbors like you here. We're excited. We got the Greater Lowell Chamber of Commerce right in the next office. They have to deal with my insanity. You have to deal with my guests coming in and out of the building. But we got a lot to talk about today.
Nice neighborhood.
It certainly is, and it's made nice in part by organizations like yours, the Greater Lowell Community Foundation. And we want to talk a little bit today about your annual Celebrate Giving event, which is coming up in just a couple of weeks.
Correct.
So we'll talk about that. You've got some honorees. You've got a special guest / keynote speaker.
Right.
And you've got a mission that always puts the Greater Lowell community at the forefront. So we're excited to tell people about that. Let me first tell everybody about our Daily Pulse sponsors. You know about Ray Booten, right? He's a licensed realtor in Massachusetts and New Hampshire, a certified appraiser in both of those states as well. So if you want to buy or sell a home, a business, or a commercial property, you need to get in touch with Ray Booten today. And you can find him easily enough, realestaterayBooten.com. That's realestaterayBooten.com. Thank you as well to our friends at WellPoint. WellPoint is the only health plan offering health care benefits exclusively to Massachusetts GIC members. At WellPoint, your whole health is their whole point. We got some other sponsors to thank as well, including the Greater Lowell Community Foundation. But let's get right down to it. Celebrate Giving.
Right.
An apt name for your annual event. Where you celebrate what it is that the Greater Lowell Community Foundation does out there in our communities. How many years? What year is this year's event now?
This would be 27.
The 27th Celebrate Giving event.
Right.
So it goes way back. It predates your time.
Okay, 28th.
28th.
1997. So yeah, let me do the math.
Wow.
It's not easy for me to do it out of calculator. Yeah, but 28th.
So this has been going on for a while. And we're going to give people the details, by the way. I said it's in a couple of weeks, Wednesday, October 22nd, and it is open to the public. And folks, we want folks to head on out there.
Absolutely.
Because you've got some inspirational things going on here on that night, including your featured speaker, a young woman from the area, actually a UMass Lowell student, who has a company that is the darling of the country and of Wall Street in particular. I know she was invited about a year ago to ring the opening bell or the closing bell, whatever bell it was, on the New York Stock Exchange. Tell us a little bit about Raja Abdulaziz.
Well, Raja, again, she's a young lady in the city of Lowell. She created Invisaware. If folks are not familiar with what Invisaware is, it is jewelry that's got GPS tracking in it. And women wear it in the event that a scenario unfolds where they feel like they're in some sort of trouble. Someone might have taken their pocketbook, they're in the backseat of a car, and their perpetrator doesn't realize when they press that button twice, it sends off a signal to either the police or a loved one or whatever to let them know they're in distress, and then they can track where they are. And Raja can tell you many stories where that jewelry came into play and save somebody from a situation that wouldn't have been good.
And the inspiration from it came from an incident where she felt she might have been in some danger or a threat facing her as well. And she's like, we got to do something to help other young women so they never experience what I experienced.
And the part that we love about it is it's the social entrepreneurship of it all. Part of the Greater Lowell Community Foundation's strategic plan includes social entrepreneurship. And how do we promote that? And how does that fit in with philanthropy as a whole? And it all ties together. And so here is the situation that we just chatted about, where there can be situations out in the community that need a solution. And she came up with a entrepreneurial solution and has done really, really well with that. and has been engaged in our community on lots of different fronts. I mean, a young lady out of UMass Lowell still stays engaged at UMass Lowell. Forbes 30 under 30 for social impact, partnership with ADT and TELUS, over 3 million social media followers. An interesting lady, to say the least.
Yeah. And she did this, by the way, at the tender young age of 21.
Correct.
Is she founded this. And she kind of, you know, as you talk about social entrepreneurship, a female founded, female-owned, female-run business. She's got all these. You mentioned the important credentials. She's
right.
got the Forbes 30 under 30
right.
For social impact, the partnerships. Why is that theme become important for you folks? That's actually been the underlying theme. I know every few years the Greater Lowell Community Foundation develops a focus. They identify an area,
right,
and they want to seek ways to make the community better in that area. Why was this an area that you identified, and why is this an area that's been so important to you and to the GLC?
Well, as noted just a sec ago, it's part of our strategic plan. So social entrepreneurship, and this is our strat plan right here. And the social entrepreneurship, it engages a community in a way that what's going on in your community, what are some of the social needs that are out there, and how do we solve those with innovative entrepreneurship that can have an impact on our community. And it's like philanthropy. It's so many different ways that folks can participate in philanthropy. You know, we talk about celebrate giving. And when we talk about giving, we're talking about giving on fronts across the board. It's giving of your time, it's giving of your talent, it's giving of, obviously, your resources. But collectively, all of those things come together to create a strong, vibrant community. And entrepreneurship, and people thinking, how do I solve these social issues? And how do I work with folks in the community, in the business community as well, to resolve issues? I think one of the things as we talk about social entrepreneurship, when we talk about businesses, you see it more and more these days, and it obviously is true with this instance, but businesses that don't have social entrepreneurship or don't have philanthropy in part of their strategic plan have a hole in their strategic plan. They do it not only for their customers, because their customers are obviously interested in companies that care about the community, but they do it for their workers as well. Mm-hmm. And of course, they do it for the community as a whole. And there is a host of really good companies out there that do this really, really well. And by no big surprise, they do well. They have the loyalty of their customers. They have the loyalty of their community. And more and more and more, when people are looking to hire and retain employees, that philanthropy, social entrepreneurship is a major attraction to new folks coming in and staying for a while, and sometimes much more than a while, in a company that has that type of ethos.
And as you talk about it being a strategic imperative of the Greater Lowell Community Foundation, it also it needs to be a strategic imperative for anybody thinking of starting a business. As you kind of pointed out, these types of things, the social issues and whatnot, are important to today's consumers, right? And I'm going to guess there are probably thousands, if not millions, of people out there that have an idea, like Raja had back when she founded InsideLowell, and yet they don't know, they'll never reach those heights because they don't know the steps to take, or they don't know the outline. And that's where the Greater Lowell Community Foundation kind of comes in. This is what you folks do. You can give people who have great ideas or want to contribute to their community but don't know how. You've got the mechanisms in place and the outlines to get it done for them.
Well, yeah, and I think that's true across the city. I mean, we've got a small business assistance center in downtown that CTI runs. I mean, there's a variety of different entities throughout this community that are always there to try to assist. I mean, they've got partners through the Lowell Plan, through the UMass Lowell, through Middlesex Community College. All these different partners oftentimes will convene on common issues that this community faces, and how do we resolve those? And I think that's a beautiful thing about this city, is it doesn't take a lot to get people to the table to try to figure out the solution to a problem. And, you know, sometimes they take a little longer than you'd like, but the fact is there are folks that are always willing to participate and partner. And I think that's a key piece of what the Greater Lowell Community Foundation wants to do is that convening, bringing people to the table. If resources are necessary, we oftentimes have a little bit to help there, but bringing other people to the table that likewise have resources and supporting these initiatives and supporting different things in different parts of not only Lowell, but the entire service area that we cover.
Yes, indeed. The Greater Lowell Community Foundation. We'll talk a little bit more about your Celebrate Giving event because she's not the only special guest. You've got some honorees that we're going to talk about, and we'll talk a little bit more about how people can participate and get involved. We're chatting with Jay Linehan from the Greater Lowell Community Foundation. He's our guest on today's Daily Pulse. We'll get back to our discussion in a quick second. Let me just thank all of our podcast sponsors. Of course, Ray Booten, you know about him. Find him online, realestaterayBooten.com. Thanks as well to our friends at WellPoint. At WellPoint, your whole health is their whole point. Washington Savings Bank, banking that goes the extra mile. Make the switch now to Washington Savings Bank. TMI Properties, TMI Cares, developing and managing their own properties for over 30 years. Experience the difference, the quality, and the value of making TMI the choice for your home. Thank you as well to Mahoney Oil, serving Greater Lowell families, providing heat and warmth to Greater Lowell families for generations. Thank you to our friends at Mahoney Oil. Thank you as well to Francis C. Preventure Insurance, the agency Greater Lowell has counted on to protect its most valuable assets since 1982. And hey, looky here. Thank you as well to the Greater Lowell Community Foundation, improving the quality of life in our communities through strategic, impactful philanthropy. And joining us on today's Daily Pulse, none other than Jay Linehan, the president, CEO, chief cook and bottle washer.
We kind of do all of that. It's funny. We were having that discussion not too long ago. I mean, there's 6 full-time folks and we've got 3 part-time folks. And the amount of work that goes through the office is amazing. And it's like, okay, don't think that your job description is going to define what your job is, because you're right.
You're going to do it all,
Topics to be assigned, and they happen. And even when we do things like this, I mean, you know, everybody just pitches in to do what we need to do. I mean, it's like, okay, so how do we get centerpieces on the table? I mean, that's in nobody's job description, right? You know, book UTech, do this, do that, make sure that we've got, you know, the food and the caterer and all those things. That's not in anyone's job description, but you all do it. And that's true for all the different agencies that do this work all the time. And so you pitch in. And it's fun, and we have a great time doing it. So we're looking forward to the event. And as you've noted, it's on the 22nd of this month of October. It's at UTech. It's $100, which is a very reasonable price. We use that to offset, you know, some of the things that we do. And if you want tickets, just go to the GLCF website, glcffoundation.org, and you'll be able to find that really, really easy. Starts at 5 o'clock. From 5 to 6, we usually have the reception. From 6 to 7, 7-ish, we have the program, and then we're done. We usually try to keep a pretty tight time schedule on things.
I've attended in the past. You do keep a very tight time schedule.
The thing that I like about that, Teddy, is that, you know, when we conclude at 7, 7:10, 7:15, right around there, it's not a mad dash for the door. Everyone's like, okay, we still keep the reception open. Mm-hmm. Folks will hang and mill around, and eventually everyone goes out the door, but it's not till like 7:30, 7:45, which is fun because you get to do the networking you want before and after the event. And I just like people staying afterwards because it's like, oh, you didn't fly out the door. What do you do? Well, they may have things they need to do, but it may also tell me that they didn't enjoy what they just did, where they were just at. We don't have that happen, fortunately. So all good.
And it's a great venue. How many does it fit in there at UTech? Right, we're talking 100, at least a couple of hundred.
Oh,
right?
That room holds quite a bit,
hall,
and they've got like a tiered spot too. We've used that in the past, but we typically get a couple hundred people that come, which is fun. And which is great. It's, you know, everyone like, oh, can I get 500? You can't see everybody when there's 500 people. It would be great, but I like the size that it's at because you get the ability to go around the room and talk to the folks that are there. And the folks that are there are supporters of what we do, would be supporters of what we do. And we like them too, obviously. But it's a fun night. Everybody has a good time.
It certainly is. And this year, along with the featured speaker who we talked about, Raja Abdelaziz, you're also handing out some community recognition awards, and I'm looking at the list of individuals and organizations, and I'm like, yeah, it makes an awful lot of sense. The first one jumps right out to me, Votes Butler Associates. They've been there with us at the Megan House Foundation right from the very beginning. Paul Votes and his entire team, unbelievably dedicated to helping young people in recovery, but a whole bunch of other important social issues as well here. And I'm glad to see them being recognized. And I'm glad, even though the V alphabetically they'd go at the bottom, I'm glad you kind of put them at the top of the list here.
We've known Paul for some time, and Dan Stone as well. And, they're a local company and they do amazing work, but they give back to the community. It's part of what I mentioned earlier. If a business doesn't have philanthropy in their strat plan, they're missing something. They're not missing anything. They've been doing this type of work for a long time, and it's our pleasure to recognize Votes Butler for how they give back and how they stay engaged in the community. So we're thrilled to be recognizing them that night.
Yeah, and they're receiving the Business Philanthropy Partner Award.
Correct.
Speaking of organizations, the Cambodian Mutual Assistance Association is receiving the Newell Flather Legacy Fund grant. First, Newell Flather.
Yes, Newell, former president of Parker Foundation, and the Parker Foundation, interestingly enough, was instrumental in starting the Greater Lowell Community Foundation back in the day. And Karen Carpenter, who's currently sitting in that role for the Parker Foundation, was part of the team that helped create the Greater Lowell Community Foundation.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, yeah. Man, it came full circle. I've known Karen forever. I was glad to see her back with the Parker Foundation.
Karen's a great partner and a great friend.
And the CMAA, so much work. Lowell, of course, noted as one of the largest Southeast Asian populations, Cambodian populations in the entire United States of America. Some historic firsts politically here in the area. But, none of that would be possible without the work the CMAA provides for that very large community. You bring that many people into an area in a short period of time.
Correct.
Without an organization like the CMAA, it could go bad pretty quickly, and it didn't. And they deserve a lot of credit for that.
Absolutely. They do amazing work. Sophia does great work, and we're happy to recognize them with the Newell Flather Legacy Fund Award.
And then the Bankers Volunteer Award for Lifetime Achievement. Bankers, a key part of the fundraising, not just at the GLCF, but our entire community.
Correct. And that is going to Vinayak Teng Rush, who, interestingly enough, is the chair of the board of CMAA, but she's also works in the public schools. But she's out in the community doing lots of different things, volunteering on. You see her everywhere.
Yep. You can't go to an event in the city without seeing Vinayak
out there. She's doing lots of different things. She cares about this community. She gives back about this community. And likewise, we're thrilled to recognize her. And she'll be recognized that evening with the award, but she'll also be given $1,000 to give to a nonprofit of her choice.
Nice touch.
Yeah.
A nice touch. And last, but certainly not least, one of my favorites, both the individual receiving the award, but also the person the award is named after, the Stephen Joncas Community Connector Award is going to Brian Chapman. From Mill City Environmental, and about 1 million boards that he serves on.
Yes.
In the city, right?
Yeah, Brian does 1 million different things. Of course, he sat on the Greater Lowell Community Foundation for some period of time as well. And, he's been out in the community doing lots of things for a long, long time. And we're thrilled to likewise recognize Mill City Environmental. And likewise, he will get the award as well as $1,000 to donate to a charity of his choice as well. So if you look at Votes Butler, Brian, Vinayak, and, CMAA, it's all consistent with the entrepreneurial theme. It's all consistent with engaging your community in ways to make a difference. And so I think we've got a great slate that night. I think it's going to be a fun night. I'm looking forward to Raja. In the setup with Raja, she's not just the featured speaker. We're doing an interview. So I'm going to interview her. And that's how that will play that night. So I'll be up on stage with her, asking her questions, going back and forth. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that too.
Which you've done in the past, right? You've been we should probably switch seats at this point. Or you'll just come in and do your own podcast at this point.
The first one I did at the foundation was so much fun because it was Doris Kearns Goodwin.
Correct. Yes.
And she was amazing.
Yeah. Lot of history in that brain, right?
Absolutely. And then the second one we did was Andrea Campbell, who was the Attorney General. And likewise did an interview. And it's a little daunting, as you might imagine.
You're an old pro at it now.
But it's fun, and it's And in the fun part about them all is how, when Doris Kearns Goode went together with Andrea, they were just so easy to work with, just so easy. And we were walking the floor before the night of the one with Doris Kearns, and she's going, I want to add an extra question. And I said, I want to add an extra question. So we're just walking the floor and we're chatting about how we're changing what's going to go on the stage in like 10 minutes. And then when we finished the interview, she had we had time allotted. And I said, we're kind of running out of time. She goes, look, the car's parked in the parking lot. He'll be there when I get there. and we went and did the VIP afterwards, and she was spectacular.
That's awesome. It's
Spectacular. And that's the way all of the folks that we participated with are. I mean, I'm singling her out, but I could say that about every single person.
Yeah, my hunch is Raja's going to stick around and talk to a few people in that room as well after the official program ends. The money raised at this event, but also the money that the Greater Lowell Community Foundation raises in a number of different ways through your corporate partners or your foundational partners. What are some of the ways that you give that money back to the community? I know you just posted the other day on your Facebook page another one of your scholarships. What do you have, 300 plus scholarships?
We got a bunch of different scholarships. There's a variety of different ways we do it. I mean, some of the key things we do is through our discretionary grant process. We continue to fund those grants. We've got community connector grants. We've got LGBTQ grants. We've got children's grant. We got elder grants. We've got a variety of things we do in that construct. And then we help support Women Working Wonders, who does a lot of grants that go out of our thing as well. And just the ability for us to have a pulse of what's going on. We inform clearly so many of our donors who run their philanthropy through us. And, some things that we like to do from time to time. So when Thanksgiving comes up, we'll go out and we'll schedule site visits at food pantries. And they don't know we're bringing money, but we're going to bring money. And we hand them some money. And you'd think you gave them $1 million. They're so appreciative of just us recognizing them. And, things along that ilk. Is it what's going on in the community throughout the course of the year? Can we help out with something? We've done little things with the school department or, some of the other nonprofits that'll come up with a small little issue that we can assist with here and there. And that occurs intermittently throughout the course of the year. The major grants that go out the door are our scheduled grants that occur. And then, of course, the most money that goes out is from our donor advised funds, which, of course, is the folks that deliver their philanthropy through the Greater Lowell Community Foundation.
Sure. And that is the companies, the organizations that already have a philanthropic arm, but they want to make a difference in the Greater Lowell community. So you're a natural fit. What about folks who want to give back but don't know how, or are watching this and saying, you know what, why aren't we doing something for the community? How do they get started?
Well, first of all, I want to be real clear. We make philanthropy easy. It's, some folks can make it sound like it's so complicated. You need to do this, you need to do that. Philanthropy is very easy. You can make direct donations through a variety of different funds we have. You can give us $5, give us $10. You can be more generous if you've got the capacity to do so and open up accounts. For example, you mentioned scholarships. Open up a endowed scholarship for $10,000, and $500 goes out every year from now into perpetuity to support a kid at Lowell High School, for example. And that could be in memory of a loved one, or recognition of somebody else as well. Donor advised funds, same thing. $10,000, $500 goes out every year. What charity do I want that to go through? And then there's just the little one-offs. Like folks go, I haven't got a check for $10,000 that I can put there, but how can I exercise philanthropy? The other thing that we mentioned earlier is philanthropy is, civic engagement, period. It doesn't have to be money. It's doing things in your community to improve the quality of life of other people around you. So that can happen with little acts of kindness every single day. But if it's like, no, but I want to contribute something. Like I said, we got a variety of different funds. And long or the short, someone gives me a call and says, can I have coffee with you downtown? No problem. Have coffee, sit down. What are your philanthropic goals? How can we help you realize those? How can we help you be part of the things that we do in this community to make life better?
You say it's easy, and you're modest in saying that. I will tell you it's not easy. We discovered that because I've been with the Megan Foundation since day one, and it is not an easy thing to do. But it's easy for you because you have the infrastructure in place, and you have the roadmap in place as well. Speaking of that,
But just on that score, that's my side of the equation. The other side of the equation, if someone wants to execute in philanthropy, I got a 1.5-page document and they give me a check, done. So that part's easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's the easy.
It gets a little harder when I have to put it through what I have to put it through. But as far as the philanthropists want to participate with us, I make that easy.
And that's why, rather than trying to go on your own, if you've got money and you want to give it, make the call to you guys.
Absolutely.
Reach out on the website, glcfoundation.org, and get going, which I'm going to guess is going to be one of your newest funds in some way, shape, or form. I don't want to let today's opportunity pass without mentioning that our state senator, Ed Kennedy, passed away, regrettably, last week. Today is actually his wake from 3 to 7 at McDonough Funeral Home. Funeral tomorrow starts 10 a.m. at the funeral home, 11 a.m. Immaculate Conception Church, followed by the burial at St. Patrick's ceremony. I noticed when I read the obituary, and we kind of published it the other day, that the Kennedy family requests, in lieu of flowers, please make a contribution to the Greater Lowell Community Foundation.
Yeah, that was so nice of them to do that. And if anybody wants to participate in that, go to our website. Right up on top, it says donate. You hit the donate button, and it is highlighted right there. And there will be a fund in memory of Ed Kennedy. And once all the dust settles, so to speak, we'll reach out to the family. What do they want to do? What would be an appropriate recognition of it?
Many things that he cared about and was passionate about. I'm going to put education probably at the top.
For sure.
Of it. My hunch is you may have yet another scholarship to.
It's a distinct possibility, but I thought that was very gracious of them to recognize us. I've worked with Ed since I've been at the foundation for the last 2 years, and I know him going back 50. So.
You used to be with Middlesex Community College,
right.
No bigger supporter of MCC,
correct,
than Senator Kennedy, former Councilor Kennedy.
Right.
That was a big part of his mission. So one more time, Celebrate Giving 2025, a focus on social entrepreneurship. Wednesday, October 22nd, 5 to 7 p.m. at UTEC, right in downtown. Beautiful space that they've completely redone that whole neighborhood.
Easy to park, easy in, easy out.
All right. And if you want tickets, go to the Greater Lowell Community Foundation website, www.glcfoundation.org. Only $100. And it's going to be a great evening.
Will be fun.
Of networking, but also hearing some really inspirational stories from your featured speaker and from your, you're going to let your honorees chat for a few seconds as well?
Of course.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, don't give Chappie too much time. No. Jay Linehan from the Greater Lowell Community Foundation, thank you for your support of our community and making our community a better place every
Teddy,
day.
always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks to Jay Linehan. Thanks to you for tuning in as well. Again, we encourage folks to head on over there. I have been. I think I might be, unless I have a debate scheduled that night, I'm going to head on over there again this year as well. Thanks for tuning in to today's Inside Lowell Daily Pulse. We'll be back again tomorrow, the show that keeps its finger on the pulse of Lowell and the world around it. It drops every day at noon, except for the Friday live show, which we do at 10 a.m., just to change things up a little bit. Till next time, everybody stay safe. Enjoy another gorgeous, I'm going to call it a summer day, even though it's October 7th, and I'll see you on the other side.